one of the solutions that was talked about was raise the HST. I know that you and your financial wisdom and your track record is 150% as far as I am concerned. But I know that some of the ideas you've had, some of the things you wanted to push forward, your colleagues will not allow you to do. So somewhere along the line, Mr. Minister, you're going to have to make a break. You're either going to have to stick with the people or stick with Frederick in order to get some of this stuff resolved. And that's just an observation, and I wish you the best of luck. Thanks for coming.
I'm not sure quite how to respond to that, but thank you for your comments. But today, and what we're doing right here, is about the people that are in this room and find a solution together. That's what today's about.
I've got a press release here. It's dated July 30th, 2012. The source of the information is John A. Sinclair, President and Chief Executive Officer of the Brunswick Investment Corporation. Do you know him?
I do.
Okay. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I'll read one paragraph. It says, net assets under management as of March 31st, 2012 reached an all-time high of $9.415 billion, up from $9.096 billion as of March 31st, 2011. This increase resulted from $433.1 million in net investment valuation gains, as well as $159.6 million in special funding payments from the plan's sponsors. I take it that's us and you? Okay, so this was offset by net pension payouts of $274.1 million. These numbers, I don't know what these numbers mean, but they're sure not very close to your numbers.
Those numbers would include the teacher's plan and the public service plan. And possibly the judge's plan, because the Brunswick Investment Management Corporation manages the assets for those three plans.
Okay, and I don't know how much gets paid out to who and where, but if the thing made $433.1 million, it paid out $271. I mean, I'm not a mathematical genius, but the arithmetic seems to say you're making more than you're paying out. Now, is this 274 million only known part of these people, or really? I don't understand. It looks to me like the whole payout for everybody is 274 million.
I wouldn't be able to answer without looking at the report.
You want it? You have it.
If you leave it with us, and we're talking about the same information, we'll respond.
It's very unclear. Every one of them is good as far as how much money we seem to be making.
That's fine. Very good.
Are all the MLAs going into this plan also?
Yes, the plan is that we'll all go through the same process that we're going through here. Yes.
And that's guaranteed?
This whole plan is being rolled across government. Yes, that is the program. So we'll be working through everybody within government. That includes the amendments.
Now, I heard a rumor, and I hope it's just a rumor. I heard that someone, I don't know whether it was you or someone else in government, said it doesn't matter what they do, it's going through. I certainly hope that wasn't true, because that's not a democracy. That is a dictatorship.
And I think I answered that before, but this process we're going through right now is about identifying the problem, proposing a solution, and working together to find a way.
I would like to ask the actuary, when he goes back to the other study that the gentleman earlier asked us for, if he could add a few more criteria to it. One is, if the provincial government had actually funded the pension started in 1973, whatever the number was, if they had not borrowed money out of it at 4%, when I was paying 18 to 19% on my mortgage at home, the government was taking money out of our pension plan and using 4% to build roads in the province, which is a great benefit for the province, but not much for me. If you put that money back in and then work your way forward, and also if the provincial government had not taken the tax holiday for the contribution holiday for 5 or 6 years in 2000, and it funded us up to 150%, would the plan now be sustainable and functioning properly? So if you did that kind of research and it was still in short supply, then I would have some sympathy for the government. But what has happened over the years is the provincial government and the politicians, and again, Mr. Hick, you're here, I know that, you're trying, and you've inherited this, but what has happened is many times the politicians would promise things to the people of the province so they could get elected when it was unsustainable. We have overspent because politicians want to get elected again, and they keep taking money out of funds like ours to do things like that. So if you want to look at the fairness, go back and do the complete study, come back and tell me that we were not properly funded because the actuaries have made errors in the calculations earlier, then I'll have some sympathy for this project.
Hi, I'm a retired teacher, just retired this past June, and I don't live here either. I'm just having a really difficult time wrapping my mind around the finances of it. On the one hand, you say that the government has the deficit and we're in hard times and we have to find new solutions, and I understand that. And then on the other hand, you're saying that our pension is in good shape, you put in money and it's financially sound. So you're saying we have such a small 2.5 chance of a benefit reduction, so it's probably we're going to keep our base. And then you're saying that if the fund is managed properly, then we are going to keep our index. Well, if we're going to stay the same with our pension, probably, and if the money that is all that we have there now is managed properly, then there's a good chance, I'm assuming as you're saying, there's a good chance we're going to keep our indexing. How does this save the government money? How does this program that you are suggesting to us, that you're making it sound like it's going to be, the fears are unjustified, that probably everything's going to be okay, then how is this going to help the deficit and save the government money? I'm sorry, maybe I should know more about finances and things. I just don't get it. And I've had a lot of people say that to me as well.
Okay, so what this does is it changes the program going forward. So for retirees as such, it's what we've talked about today, but for existing members in the plan, the contribution levels change significantly. And for retirement age, that changes as well. So these are people working and new hires that come in and people working based on what time they've been in. That changes the future liability of the plan, and the predictability of the plan is based on the market. So you no longer have to guess what's going to be. It'll be what the market is, and it floats on the market. So the government doesn't have to say, well, we'll guarantee it to be this because we don't know what the market's going to be. But when you have to do that as a government, you have to book it as a liability, and you don't know where it's going to go. What we found is that over this, and you saw the chart, the contribution levels required to keep it in the state that it's in at maybe 85 or 90% funding has been, greater than what's being taken in or greater than the returns. So we've had to add to the plan. And currently we fund the plan, the PSSA plan, at 2.5 times the actual employee fund. So we're out of whack there on the go-forward basis. We forced it to be okay to this point because of the requirement to fund it, no matter what. We're trying to say, is that fair going forward? Is it fair to the rest of the people in the province? Because that's all we're trying to do is represent everybody. And how do we get a formula that works for everybody going forward? And I know how difficult that is. But that's what the difference is.